I would like us to prolong a few more minutes our standing up, those that are able to stand up, as we prepare to take our national anthem. And as we're about to get into that service, I would like to request that as a sign of respect to our country, to our nation, to our national anthem, I request that those that are males, they take off their hats. We only remain with females having hats, and I further request that everyone should have their arms on their sides, because we do not have a president that would put his arm here. All of us would put our arms on our side. We are going to be led by a compact disc in the singing of our national anthem. So we stand wherever you are, you stand still for the singing of the national anthem. Over to you, sir. Our seats. Before we can proceed with our program, I would like to call upon the university's safety officer, Donovan Lynch, to share with us some of the safety issues and some of the critical logistics that we must all be aware of. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Nelson Mandela University welcomes you all, and we do respect and appreciate and take the safety and health of every staff member, student, as well as visitors serious. So in this sense, we want us to all to take a minute to quickly just familiarize ourselves with the emergency evacuation procedures of this specific venue in the event that we need to evacuate. As you could see, right to the side of me on either side, there's emergency exit in front. There's emergency exits in the middle as you arrived, but also there's emergency exits at the back. In the event that a fire alarm goes off and we need to evacuate, when the alarm goes off, don't panic, please be seated. Because what will happen is the security will go and verify if there is really a reason for evacuation and if we can have the fire under control. In the event that we need to evacuate, I will give the evacuation instruction and we'll all evacuate through our emergency exits as I just pointed out to you. Please follow the green running man as you leave the venue. And as you follow the green running person, when you get to the emergency assembly point, please remain at the emergency assembly point, because we need to account for everybody that was here, especially because you are visitors and your friends and family would like to know where you are at. And we are fully accountable and responsible for your health and safety while you're on our premises. So last but not least, We also remember that in the event of an emergency, the lifts will go to the ground floor. So please do not use the lifts. Please go to the emergency exit points and use the stairs, because you will be waiting there for us at the lifts and nobody would be there. So, ladies and gentlemen, once all clear has been given at the emergency assembly point, you will be allowed to disembark or to go home or come back to the venue if it's safe for us, all of us, to continue. So we wish you a very successful Indaba, and we believe that with your strength and your efforts, we will make South Africa a better place. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yes, one last thing. I tend to get used to it because we're staff members. For those that need, when nature calls, when you need the facilities, all our bathrooms are as you way as you came in. You have females on the right-hand side and males on the left-hand side. So for those that needs to go at now and then, the bathrooms are all there. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Lynch. Now we can sit knowing what to do when the eventuality comes. I would like to take this opportunity at this point in time to introduce two people that are going to be driving this program today. I would like to start first with the Chief Executive Officer of the Eastern Cape Socio-Economic Consultative Council. Those that have forgotten what I said, they must just remember EXEC. And his name, if you can stand again, his name is Luvuyo Musana. He is the accounting officer for our EXEC, which is an entity of the Office of the Premier. Luvuyo, I would like to hand over to you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Kutu. Good morning to the leadership in first instance, led by the Premier of the province, and we are aware that we will be joined by the Minister of Human Settlement tomorrow. And good morning to all the MECs present. As introduced, my name is Vuyo Mosana in short, Luvuyo in the longest name, but if you want the longest of all, it's Luvuyo Lamambondo. Thanks a lot and good morning. And I must say, the very best that I have learned with my co-program director is that today we are not going to be just directing the program, but we will be introducing some innovations. With you, you had the DDG for planning, performance, and monitoring in the Office of the Premier, and she's the one who's leading the first session of the morning, and that's Ms. Sokutu, Sisweleka Sokutu. Thank you. Over to you again.
Let us not shy away when someone says Malibongwe. Let us respond and let us say it loud, Malibongwe. Yes. I would like at this point in time to greet the Honourable Premier, to greet the Honourable Members of the Executive Council, to greet the Honourable Members of the Provincial Legislature, the Honourable Members of the various councils, starting with the Hosting Council, greet the Honourable Leadership of the House of Traditional Leaders, greet all the leadership that is here in their respective leadership roles. And as I have been introduced, that I'm going to be the one that is leading the first part of the program, I would like us to get straight to that. And as we are going to get straight to our program, I would like to remind us that we are left with 7 years before 2030. And further remind us that we set ourselves a beautiful vision that by 2030 we would like to see an Eastern Cape that is, we are envisaging that our Eastern Cape by that time would be an enterprising, a connected and a province where people would be reaching their potential. And we're gathered here today in what we've termed the Human Settlements Indaba. I'm not taking I'm not making the purpose. Somebody's going to do that, but I just want to remind ourselves about that vision, that by 2030 we need to be an enterprising, connected Eastern Cape where everybody thrives. And if today we're going to talk about human settlements, I would further again like to remind us that 7 years before we get to 2030, we're still faced with a number of human settlements issues. They include, for example, rapid urbanization, and the question is, to what extent are we ready to address, to stand up to that rapid urbanization? Again, if we look at our infrastructure, there's weak infrastructure, particularly economic infrastructure in rural areas. We look at our transport connections, there are weaknesses there. However, do not worry, do not be alarmed, because today, tomorrow, on Friday, we'll be coming with solutions to those serious human settlements issues. Just gear yourselves, just start to be thinking about solutions, because you are here to assist us to get to those solutions. On that note, I would like to call upon someone who is going to welcome us so that you can feel welcome to this program. And that is going to be done by the acting Vice Chancellor of this institution, Dr. Mugi Mueng, who is the acting Vice Chancellor for this week. Over to you, Vice Chancellor. We said we're dropping the prefix.
Program Director, Mama Osokutu, no Mr. Vuyo Musana, Premier of the Eastern Cape Province, the Honourable Mr. Oscar Mabuyane, MEC for Human Settlements in the Eastern Cape, Honourable Ms. Siphokazi Lusithi, other MECs who are present here today, the Mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality, Councillor Mr. G. van Niekerk, Speaker of the Eastern Cape Provincial Legislature, members of the Executive Council, members of the National Parliament and Provincial Legislature, esteemed traditional leaders present here today, Director General of the Eastern Cape Provincial Administration, Mr. Mbulelo Sokoni, Acting Director General of Human Settlements, Ms. Sindisiwe Ngongo, Head of Department of Human Settlements in the Eastern Cape, Ms. Tabisa Poswa, other heads of government department, chief executive officers and senior managers, academics from Mandela University and other institutions of higher learning, representatives of civil society, organizations and private sector, acting Dean today, who's the head of Department of Human Settlements, Ms. Emma Ayesu Koranteng, students led by the SRC. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, goeiemorgen, molweni, sanibonani, dumelang. As the acting Vice Chancellor of Nelson Mandela University, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to Nelson Mandela University and to this important Indaba. I would like to convey an apology from our Vice Chancellor, Professor Sibongile Mutwa, who is out of town on official duties with the Minister of Higher Education and Training. I know she would have liked to be here today. We are gathered today at the start of Nelson Mandela Month in the Eastern Cape Human Settlements Indaba, convened under the theme Accelerating the Delivery of Integrated and Sustainable Human Settlements in the Eastern Cape Province through collaboration and partnerships, leaving no one and no place behind. As Mandela University, we appreciate the fact that our institution was requested by the provincial government to host this auspicious occasion. The significance of the event at the opening of the Mandela Month and the call made in the Indaba theme to work together and expedite efforts to improve the harsh living conditions that urban and rural poor people find themselves in resonate with our philosophy as a university. As a public higher education institution, we strive to promote a socially just and resilient world in line with the United Nations 2030 Sustainable Development Goals and Africa's Agenda 2063. As Mandela University, we pride ourselves in fostering partnerships with local, provincial, and national government to help address pressing societal issues within our mandate as a higher education institution. We strive to be socially embedded institution in the service of society. With regard to the theme of the Indaba, I would like to share 3 specific initiatives from our university. On the 19th of July 2022, the university launched a trilateral partnership agreement with Habitat for Humanity South Africa and Nelson Mandela Foundation in an event that took place at the Gqeberha informal settlement next to our Missionville campus that houses the medical school. Secondly, Mandela University has an active memorandum of understanding with the Eastern Cape Department of Human Settlements, led by our chair for Human Settlements, Prof. Mbanga. Engagements are continuing with the HOD, Ms. Poswa, and her executive management team to define programs and projects that will be pursued in the short, medium, and long term. This in an effort to aid in expediting the transformation of communities in the province and stimulate local economic development in the process of creating sustainable human settlements. Thirdly, during the July